Okay, so looking at the AABBs for the collidable groups. So the collision manager, when we process the collisions, right before we go through the collision detection, we'll go through each of the collidable groups and calculate their AABBs. Each collidable group has a pointer to an AABB. We compute the data, send in the list of the actual collidable objects in that group. And basically, for each of them, we will calculate an individual AABB around the collidable object's B-sphere, calculate the min and max, and then figure out, recalculate for each object the overall min and max for all the objects. And once we find those values, we'll set those for the AABB for the collidable group itself. And then inside of our collidable object, whenever the user sets the collider model, a new B-sphere is already created by default. And then when we update the collision data, both the volume and the B-sphere, their data is updated as well. And then when we test for pair commands for the collisions, 4 levels of testing. First, we test the intersections between the two AABBs of the two collidable groups. If that is true, then we will go through each of the objects in the first group, see if any of their B-spheres intersect with the AABB of the second group. Then for both sets of objects, we'll first test their B-spheres to see if they intersect, and then lastly we'll see if their collision volumes intersect. So going ahead, and then in our self commands, that code is pretty much the same since all of the objects are in one collidable group. It only really makes sense to have them still only check for intersections between their collision volumes. So going through the code, or actually running this real quick, that breakpoint should only be triggered once the collision volumes are actually intersecting. So the yellow AABBs surround the two different groups of tanks. We also have individual B-spheres surrounding them, and then the white AABBs are surrounding them. So once they actually collide, then we have our breakpoint triggered here. They actually turn red there.